here we are again. How was your red serpent wave spell? Did you shed that old skin? Did you go by your gut instinct? Did you feel that survival mode? Welcome on in, Bridget, because all this has led up to today's powerful wave spell, the beginning of which is the white mirror. Now, when I tell you this is going to be an interesting wave spell, in Scorpio season, and not only that, this is going to coincide with the Mercury retrograde coming in at the end of the month as well. You feel what I'm saying? So this is a time of reflection for real, and that is the key word: reflection, order, bringing order out of chaos, right? For a lot of us, the matrix, which is the world that we perceive, and endlessness. And that's a big word right now. It almost makes me think of the never-ending story. What's going on? What's going on? What's good with y'all? How y'all feeling after the wave spell of the red serpent? Did you shed some old skin? You know what I'm saying? Were you vulnerable to certain things? There's a lot of it's part of the reading. So whatever you hear, whatever you see, whatever you know what I'm saying, they go on. Yeah, it's always like that, Bridget. Being in that class, you already know, I kind of told y'all you'll feel it coming in. It's an overlapping energy. You'll start to pick up on it intuitively before it actually comes in, and it'll start to give you hints and clues. Now, this is a reflection time, and I mean going in deep. This is the time where the sword of truth, which is pictured here in the middle, really cuts through the illusion of things. You know what I'm saying? It's really going to help you distinguish the funhouse mirror from the real mirror. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to see yourself and others. You're going to see parts of yourself that maybe you've neglected or haven't yet discovered. But you're going to have experiences during this wave spell which are going to be a reflection. Now, let's get it funky. This is twofold. You always take the energy in the light and the dark. And the dark is just as useful of a tool as the light is. So don't ever get it twisted. I'm telling you, Bridge, there's nothing like having a period of time where you can just sit. I feel that right there. And this is what this is. This is going to be a very raw, very, you can't fake the funk kind of look. You're going to see yourself in others. You're going to see situations, and the other side of that is the projections of others as well. So be mindful of that. And this will help you make the distinction between what is you and what isn't you at the same time. But again, that sword of truth has a lot to do with the tongue. So, with this in Scorpio season, these shattered pieces of the mirror, so to speak, coming together, showing the different aspects of who we are, and Scorpio season bringing things to the surface. This has a lot to do with the past, the present, and the future, all rolled into one. And when I say past, I don't mean just this lifetime. You might be experiencing flashes of gifts coming to the surface. You might be feeling experiences coming back to the surface. I was thinking about when Miss Blue told me that I had a past life here in New Orleans and what that means to this point. Having that reflection, because you're going to carry pieces of that lifetime into this lifetime, right? Especially unresolved things that need to be cleared up. And I'll be damned if this ain't been a hell of a clearing down here in the Crescent City. You know what I'm saying? That crescent to me is Hathor energy, the mother energy. But New Orleans is a Scorpio city. And today we're on the wake of the Scorpio moon, correct? So again, inheritance, buried fortunes, the occult, the veil being thin, the ancestors, metaphysics, all that funky fly shit going right up into the pot. This will let you know what you've been holding on to. Scorpio's known to hold grudges for lifetimes, kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? So this will really give you a hint to what you've been holding on to, and that's the importance of this reflection. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll come across people who really agitate the fuck out of you, but when you take a closer look, there's a part of them that's reflected in you, and vice versa. Somebody who is really a joy, a light in the world, and you'll start to see that in yourself. You know what I mean? Maybe it'll be something more of a conversation that you have with this sort of truth here. But this is in order to help your perspective and the way you view this matrix, as we call it. The word that really sticks out besides the reflection and the order is the endlessness of it all. This is one of them things where you ever seen a mirror facing a mirror, right? And you just see doubles and triples of people going on and on and on in the distance. You understand what I'm saying? If you ever been down that escalator with two mirrors on the two sides, and you look this way, you see a whole bunch of you this way and a whole bunch of you this way doing the same thing. It's kind of that energy right there. You know what I'm saying? That endlessness. And what was really cool is, just like y'all, I had an experience that night. What night was that? It had to be maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I went out with a buddy of mine to a cigar lounge. And I'll be damned if these three stewardesses didn't come through who were on layover. And I did their charts for them after we got all this, fly shit out the way. And they were all mirrors of each other. I have never seen a mother and two daughters. They were a mother and two, the mother was with her two daughters on a layover. But they all had the opposite signs, like the sister's compliment was the other sister's challenge, and vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? And this goes into what we were all saying about having these episodes of having things come into fruition, come to the forefront as far as the reflection, examples of it. And this was a really great example of that. And even the mother had a reflection of the oldest daughter. They were both red dragons. You understand what I'm saying? And you could tell that they were like each other's best friends. One of them was a galactic activation portal. Blase, blase, blah. So part of this is really about, it was unbelievable. It was mind-blowing. And it was, one of them was a Scorpio. It was her birthday. She had given birth to two fixed signs, a Scorpio and a Leo. And for her birthday, I went into her birth chart and gave her the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, double dragon for real. How about that? But to have that kind of dynamic show up when it did is very much like what you're all saying about this moment of stillness and reflection. The Page of Swords and the Nine of Cups. This is a learning curve. This is learning. This is like a review. This is going back over old dream journals. This is old ideas, things that you used to think. Going back to childhood even, you know what I'm saying? Reflecting on the childhood and how that shaped things. And then you have the Nine of Cups. So this is like a journey right here. This is where the study begins and the bright ideas happen. And this is where it leads us to this Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, being very self-sufficient, but this is an emotionally charged kind of energy when we're talking about the Nine of Cups. And there's that treasure I was talking about from the Scorpio moon. You know what I'm saying? The buried treasure. Because right across from Scorpio, we always got to remember the opposite sign is Taurus. And Taurus is about our value and our worth. What has the journey taught you, and what is the value that you've gotten out of it? How much are you worth? That kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Those are like the key points to it all. You feel me? Let me get the bottom card from Fancies, and then we'll go into Santa Muerte, because I want to see what the subconscious mind is saying. And look, here go that red dragon again. Here go that red dragon again. So this is really saying, after all that shedding of old skin and being vulnerable about things, I had a lot of conversations with a lot of folks in a very vulnerable way, and it can be touchy-feely, it can provoke things. It's digging deep again, you know what I'm saying? Scorpio energy is really digging deep and getting to the root of things. You know what I'm saying? And when you come out of that phase, There's a time where you have to nurture that stillness you were talking about, Bridget. Birthing something new, a new version of self, coming out of this cosmic egg, kind of energy, but really more about self-care at this time. And when I see this Page of Swords, this is also a time of a lot of forgiveness, and I mean that more in a self-reflective way of the experience, and not attaching yourself too much to the emotion of it all, because this feels more like emotional freedom. This feels like releasing one of the illusions of things, the bondage, the self-imposed perception that maybe we've placed on each other. And with this white mirror here, we're going to be able to see both sides of the coin. You understand what I'm saying? Both sides of the coin. We're going to see how impactful, how influential, and I'm using words from the previous wave spells here, the wisdom that we've extracted, the journey that we've been on, the skin that we've shed, the things that we've released and let go. This is kind of like a summary kind, especially with this Mercury retrograde. So this is kind of like a warm-up for that. So we're going to have quite a bit of time in this reflective period, and it's going to lead into the winter solstice, which is also a time of reflection. You understand? A lot is going to be changing. Your friend circles, your occupation, maybe your living situation, but it's all going to come from within. That's for damn sure. And there go my buddy right there. What's up, big guy? You leaving fleas in the front yard? Yeah. You keep walking. Anyway. What's going on, Deanna? How you feeling? Santa Morte. We're going to get some from her. But this is what's going to be more apparent for us right here. This is what's going to be really more apparent. This is going to be a time of great self-care and nurturing this new version of self. After that skin starts to harden again, the stillness comes from, just like the snake. The snake needs a period of time after shedding that skin, which a lot of us went through in these last 13 days, and probably even more longer. This was just kind of the crescendo of the orchestra. Relying on our instincts, seeing without looking with these two eyes. You understand? If it didn't feel right, then that was the correct response. Even though it looked good, it didn't feel good, kind of thing. And you remember that the red serpent also deals with survival. And what is survival? Well, when we look at Scorpio, we get all the juice. You know what I'm saying? This is self-defense. This is procreation at the end of the day as well. Procreation, you know what I mean? Survival of the fittest. Passing on the lineage. Passing the lineage down to the younger. You know what I'm saying? All that fly stuff goes into that survival kind of energy. Not so much survival mode, but I'm sure that came into play as well. Look at this, the Wheel of Fortune. And on the bottom of the deck we got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Fear not. Everything had to be stripped away. Maybe you're experiencing a bit of financial loss, not feeling so upbeat about things in a physical way. But you have to remember, before any change takes place, you really have to let go of a lot. You know what I'm saying? You have to really allow things to be stripped away. And sometimes maybe that means leaning on others. This was a really big lesson about, even though as powerful as we are separately, individually, it still takes a group of people working together to get things done. You understand what I'm saying? So this feels more of that letting go of that pride and that ego, not letting that get in your way. With this Page of Swords here, figuring out new ways of doing things. You know what I mean? Taking new courses, new classes, becoming better than we were before, which is the whole idea behind the red serpent leading up into this. And also physical exercise, my people. Do not discredit how important that is right about now, especially in these months where it's not so hot. About moving around and getting the body involved in everything, but with more intent involved into it. Here's an example. The sidewalk over here look like the sidewalk over here. You see all that shit popping out from the side of the concrete, right? Well, I cleared it out, but I did it with the intent of feng shui, which is inviting blessings in and making sure the path is clear. So it's physical exercise, but with a spiritual intent on top of it. So we're adding on to the dimensions that we were already accustomed to, about building not only the mind and the body, but the soul, and working with energy. This is basically energy work. You know what I mean? It could have been anything for you. It could have been food. It could have been the way you maintain a house, like I said, feng shui, changing up the flow of things. You understand? So this is what we're looking at. I'm going to keep this really simple. Wheel of Fortune tells me during all this time, it's about just focusing on self. The wheel is going to turn in this aspect, but things had to be taken away in order for a new kind of cycle to come in. You didn't want to carry any dead weight, any old skin, any outdated beliefs, anybody who was in your circle that didn't belong in your circle kind of shit. You know what I mean? Relationships, jobs, etc., etc. It had to line up with who you are right now in order for all this new beginning to take place. All right? So I'm going to keep it short with that because it's pretty self-explanatory. But again, I'm trusting that a lot of you are already getting the downloads to what's going on. I want this to be more of a confirmation than anything else. But at this time, I'm more than happy to pull any cards for anybody who would like any kind of, a little heads up, this and that, whatever. Because this is what I do. And this is what I love doing. So this is becoming more of a full-time job than anything else. I'm dedicating myself to my craft and the things that I love to do. And nurturing that. Making that come into fruition. Because everything else, I'm telling you. The old job, it wasn't in line with who I am now. You understand? And the people in that motherfucker had to go. You feel me? So just saying, you know what I'm saying? Just saying. So if you took a loss, a hit, it's temporary. It was for the best. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's what happens when you do this kind of work. You have to be willing to sacrifice something. Scorpio energy, put the death or transition or change to another level of being, you know what I'm saying, to get back to the top of the wheel. At the end of the day, we're really trying to get back to the center of the wheel so that we escape this cycle of karma, of ups and downs, and that comes with learning the lessons. You feel me? So just to address this and what I'm feeling off of this, but we are all going to pick up something different from these cards. But at this time, if you want, I do 3 cards. I'll do one from each deck for you if you would like a message from whomever you may think it is, a guide, an ancestor, or even just your higher self, just a little bit of clarity, confirmation, whatever the intent. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? Just put it in the comment box and we can get into it. All right, Bridge, you want that smoke, huh? You want that smoke, huh? All right, let's see what you got going on. And do remember with these collective readings that you may find something in somebody else's reading that you're similar, and that's because it's a collective reading. Of all the places you could be right now, you know what I'm saying, we all kind of met up right here together. So this is not my room, this is our room. Any advice, any intuition, anything that you get, it's really imperative that you're tapping into that deepest part of yourself. All right, top of the deck, 2 of Pentacles in reverse. Looks like new partnerships after old ones are going out of the window there, Bridge. But again, reflections. You see that? You see how that one is reflecting in the other? Take that as you will. Don't look too much into the reversal of things. Lord, here we go. Hey, Brown Goddess, how you feeling? And very much in a physical way. It's a Light Seers deck. Look at that. Four of Pentacles reversed. So this is a release. Excuse me. Excuse me. You see I'm on the phone right here, man? Yeah, I know you do. This is the shit I'm talking about. And the Tower Bridge, this is the changes. It's nothing worse than a troll. But you see how that works. And that's more of a lesson, heads up. Please do not engage. And this is what I'm talking about the reflecting. And it's a mimicking and a copycatting going on right about now. You know what I mean? People trying to swap out and all this other shit. But for you right here, this is the Tower Bridge. This is shaking things up. In the physical realm especially, this is a release. This is a release. All right? But there you go. You can have a little bit more on top. As far as your own intuition, all right? Let's get you one off the bottom just to clear this all in. And anybody else want to get one, we could come on in with it. Mosaic. And mosaic is perfect for the reflection because this is like mosaic is putting those pieces back together in a physical sense. Again, this is earth energy. You got a lot of earth energy, a lot of grounded energy here. All this. All right. Anybody else? Everybody else good? Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shades of Jade. How's it out there in Vegas? And I'm glad it kind of happened because I need y'all to know that, you know, some of us got to go forward and be the example for this shit. Nurture your being. Do not let anything or anyone get you out of that zone. Some people are so far off gone that there is no coming back. You know what I'm saying? And you got to learn to release and let them be who they are. And at the same time, keep it sacred, which means be mindful about who you're sharing everything with. Because that energy right now is precious. All right, Shades, let's see what we got for you. From the Santa Morte. Look at this shit. You got the Two of Pentacles as well. And then you got the Moon. So this time during this reflection, you can't make this shit up, right? You have the Moon, subconscious mind. Things being revealed. This Moon could have revealed a lot for you. Especially about your relationships. And this looks more like a, we're going to say, Just make sure you're playing checkers. I mean chess, not checkers. The sun. How about that? And the moon. So this may be in realms of the relationships, personal relationships, close relationships. The sun is revealing this is darkest before the dawn. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through a period of a little bit of before you get to the you know what I'm saying? And again, with this reflection of the white mirror that we're in for the wave spell, this is where seeing you, and this has a lot of accountability behind it. This has a lot of accountability behind it because it'll show you now, you know, this is where we're not blaming anybody for anything. And it's kind of the same with you too, Bridget, since you pulled the same card. I don't care what position it comes out in. It has the ability to be however you need it to be. In your case, it felt like more of a release of not holding on to anything that didn't reflect who you were. Where this is more of finding people who reflect more of who you are. This is truth being revealed and coming to the light for you right here, Jade. So that's what, let me get the bottom of the deck for. And Sophia comes in. This is about using your wisdom. Sophia is also a protector of new beginnings, children, you know, pregnant mothers kind of thing like that. But this is more about that energy of protecting that because of she's using all these sharp instruments, her armor, you know what I'm saying? But she's using her wisdom, all right? So that's what I got for you. Green Goddess, let's see what comes up for you real quick. And you can always go back. I always tell people, get you a screenshot of the shit so you can look at it later. And take care of business. Take care of the business. Remember, in chess, it's about setting yourself up for the best possible move. It's not about the quick and the easy jump here and there to get to a certain space, right? It's about prudent planning. What's going on, Queenie? How you feeling today? Yeah, make sure you get a screenshot. Let me get this one back in the deck. Let me get this one back in the deck. Let's see. The Emperor. How fitting for you. At the bottom, you got the King of Hearts. I'm going to shuffle this one more time because I tell you, that damn... It came out again. Let me make sure. Let me make sure something real quick. Yeah, it came out again. I'm going to just leave it out. I swear. I'm just going to leave this out. I'm going to get you another card, but I'm going to leave this Two of Pentacles out because I feel that has a lot to do with everybody going on right now. You're welcome. If you'd like to donate, the cash app is down below. Alright. We done got you shuffled again. My poor Santa Morte deck. This is my first deck. So even in this reflective period, look. Can't make it. You got the moon in another deck. This one is more of that reflective energy. You see that energy right there. This is the only card in the deck where there's a flesh and bone being. Every other person in the deck is just a skeleton. But it's like getting to the surface, seeing things for what they truly are, right? In this case, you. And then the Judgment in reverse. I came to this realization, it's not for me to judge people and what they're going through and where they at in life, right? That's out of your hands. You might have been put in places where you were just meant to bring it to the surface. But this is more so dealing with you. Things coming to the surface. So Scorpio energy for your ass. The Judgment is more about, because you got this King of Hearts, this is more self-love energy, right? And this is what I'm talking about. You don't discern against the outer appearance. You're looking for the essence of the soul of a person. And reserving judgment. This is more so for you in a case where you're not being hard on yourself in this moment of reflection. It's kind of like, why was I in that relationship? Why did I take that job kind of shit? Well, it was part of the curriculum. You know what I mean? You had to learn. You had to bust your head. You know what I mean? I saw something on Instagram today where he was like, some guy was saying some shit like, best way to enlightenment or some shit, don't get angry no man. I'm like, man, that's part of life. That shit is bull. It's just how you deal with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we've done things prior in a certain way and not gotten the results. But this time is about doing things different. But in that realization, it's making sure that you're not passing judgment on yourself in such a harsh way. It's more of this active self-love right here for yourself and the people around you. You know what I'm saying? There's no difference. They're all treated the same, regardless if they had different baby moms or whatever, or they come from different places, different cultures, different backgrounds. You know what I mean? So that's what that is right there for you. Hold on, what did you have in the front? Yeah, you had the Emperor. A lot of fiery energy here, though. But you got a lot of water with it, too. So this is like telling me temperance at the same time. Just balance it out. If you snap like I just did on that motherfucker who came outside knowing he was breaking up this conversation purposely, don't be hard on yourself about that. You know what I mean? That's your right to defend your space. He had no business to be out here doing that bullshit. He was doing it for attention and to be a troll. But now I'm like, no, let me reel it back in. Instead of leaving the table and putting him in the ground, you know what I mean, which I would like to have done, just let it go. It's not worth it. It's not for me to judge that situation. You know what I'm saying? Let the rest of, because I can't be the only one. You feel me? When people have been doing things for years, they've been doing it, getting away with things for years. They keep thinking they can do it with your ass kind of thing. And then they fuck around and find out. And you let all that other shit catch up. It's not your job to do anything but expose it and bring it to the surface. It's kind of like rooting out the poisonous shit. You feel me? So even in these situations, and this is why the Judgment card is here like this, it's not like, don't take it so personal in a lot of these aspects, especially with your, I was about to say it's sexually, especially, I don't know, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe this has something to do with family and all that, you know what I mean? Your children's father and all that. Whatever. You know best. Did you get your screenshot? And I'm going to say shout out to Healing Pool, too, for the donation last time. I didn't get a chance to tell you that. And yeah, there you go. Bang, 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 bang. And yeah, the white mirror again. I'm going to just leave that out, too. And this damn Two of Pentacles. So it's in a very physical, real way. It's a very matrix, in-your-face, 3D kind of way. Is your job a reflection of who you are? Are the people around you a reflection of who you are? You know what I'm saying? And if it's not, it's time to make new friends. You know what I mean? It really just depends on where you're at now. And you're not basing things on the past and how things were. So a lot of forgiveness in this release, too. And with that, it unblocks the pathway, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It unblocks the pathway, so more things that are a reflection of you can come to you. More truths can come to you. The person in the mirror becomes like your greatest lover, flaws and all. You know what I mean? Quote unquote. All right. You have no idea how much this confirms? Well, you know, like I said, in the collective read, when everybody shows up, it feels like most of us are going through similar circumstances, just in different ways. But that's how it's supposed to work. People got to start realizing what happens to one happens to all, right? You may think Gaza don't affect you. You know what I'm saying? You might think that what's going on in another part of the world don't affect you, but it does. That plant that just went up in fire. I forget what it was. It was like a nickel plant that just got put up, just went up in flames and put all that shit in the air out there in Missouri. If you think that shit don't affect you, it does. Because we're talking about the environment. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Queenie, you want some of that too? I got you. I got you. I got you. All right. So take it all in stride. Remember, what you're seeing is a projection of the mind when it comes to this 3D world. It's a simulation. It's just like putting on a pair of goggles in that virtual reality. You're not going anywhere, but inside of the goggles, it looks like you're all over the fucking place, right? It's just an interesting kind of philosophy to take a look at. You said all of it. Alright, I got you, Queen. Oh, I took it back out. If it comes back out, it comes back out. Alright, Queenie, let's see what you got. Pretty much. That's another great way of looking at it. You know what I mean? But it's still the same casino. We all gonna have to cash out one day, right? Oh, look at you, Queenie. Look at you. With your intuitive ass. This is definitely Scorpio season. You got the veil. What have you been seeing out the corner of your eye? And then you got the Queen of Clubs. Hell yeah. You talking to the family over there, huh? You got the Marie Laveau card. This is active communication. This is very intuitive. Whatever you're experiencing in this time that is not seen, you're on point. Don't worry about it. Get one out of here. Yeah. Get out of your head. Don't let that shit play with you. It's that old Ghetto Boy song, Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. Yeah, don't let that be the case. The thing you gotta remember with that intuition, it's like you know without knowing, and then you know it, but there's no tangible proof you can feel it. It's different than a logical mind, which needs, facts and numbers and data, shit you can see, touch. But how else is new shit gonna get here? You know what I'm saying? If it's already here. It just feels like a lot of also creative transmissions there. And look at you leaving a lot of that stuff behind. 6 of Swords. Yeah. Everybody's leaving something behind, starting something new. I don't care what it is. But those 3s are significant because we're talking about 3 of Swords, heartbreak. We're talking about 3 of Hearts, people you celebrate with. 3 of Pentacles, different kinds of collaborations. Leaving one group for another group when you're talking about those 3s. Could mean anything, past, present, future, all that shit. How these have ties and they're pulling together, these don't. So this is really cutting things loose. And this is really what clears it up for you, because whatever these 3s represent, potentially had you like this. This is like people in your head type of shit, when you know what you're seeing and feeling. This is outside influence kind of energy, you know what I'm talking about? So this is a big, feels like a big lesson of review and trust from what you're getting within. And it looks like you did it with that in reverse. So yep, you got them scissors out on somebody's ass, right? Snip, snip. And something about the hair. I don't know what that really means, but that's the first time I really kind of noticed that with the hair. But you see the luggage there too. And that really is like taking what you really need with you on this leg of the journey and letting everything else go. In a mental way. So it's like clearing out the library. Maybe you read the first book in it and you're meant to write the second book. You feel what I'm saying? Because of the experience you're going through. Different times, so different methods, different ways. It's kind of like updating the catalog, especially with the clubs here. You think of her time and what she was going through and the way she did things, which is pretty much the same way you do your thing, you know what I mean? When you go over to the tomb with Marie Laveau down there off of St. Claude, they'll tell you all about it. They kind of dismiss the spiritual aspect of it because I guess they're not, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, but if you put them both together, you get a composite picture. She was highly intuitive, but she was smart as hell. She was a businesswoman, and she would sit in the weaving district and listen to all the conversations. So when she saw you on the street, she already knew the 411 on your ass. But then there's the intuitive part as well. And even the whole thing with voodoo dolls, you know, with the pins in it, those were for the physicians so they could remember what part of the body they were working on for you. You understand? It wasn't about stabbing people up in their sleep and having them crippled and walking around and all that. That's like later Hollywood shit. So this might even be a time in this reflection where you see the untruths in the spirituality that's been going on around here. You know what I'm saying? That kind of energy. I don't know. It just says a lot here. It just says a lot here. You feel me? Alrighty. There you go, Queenie. You said you wanted to smoke, damn it. I should have given you 2 cards out of the Santa Muerte. Matter of fact, since you wanted that, let's see what the bottom cards say real quick, because you can handle it. The Chariot, in reverse. Be still for a moment, so you can receive whatever is coming through. Take you some time out. Don't be so in motion with things. A little bit of stillness. No, forget that, ancestor. She said she wanted to smoke. Yeah, and then you got the Hangman in reverse. Perspective. But you know what this is saying? This is reminding me of something because she's facing the sun now. She's going upwards, it looks like. But it's a perception, right? Up is down, left is right kind of thing. That's what that feels like right there. Is she really hanging here? Or is she flying up and this is draping off? You feel what I'm saying? It's kind of like the trees. They're pushing down in the ground just as much as they're pushing up. Shit, even more so going into the ground. So it's like the deeper you go, the higher you climb. So don't be scared. I know you ain't scared. You know I'm playing with you. Alrighty. Anybody else up in this camp? Like a couple cars. I think we took care of everybody. Everybody else is just flowing through. No big deal. So before we go, I'll get one last little message for everybody, and then we can go about our business. Yeah, never scared. I know that's right, Queenie. This is disillusionment, or not being confused. This is what this whole thing is summing up to. Because you know that seven of cups can be a lot of illusion. You don't know what's in none of them cups. You got to really take your time to go through each one, right? The blue storm, which is the year we're in. So again, cleaning out, making space for the new, self-generation, swift changes. So that's saying if you see something, act on it. Don't let it linger. And from the lights here, we got bang, bang, bang. Say less. Knight of Swords. Again, don't be so fast. Don't be so quick to speak. Let things marinate. Keep that good shit to yourself for now. Hold your tongue. Bite your tongue. And let the powers that be take care of the rest. You understand what I'm saying? Don't be so quick to move on things. Which is almost a contradiction here. But in this case, this is really just about clearing out the old energy. You know what I'm saying? Clearing out the old energy. This is more in reference to what you get afterwards. This is more about a reference to what you get after all this energy is cleared out. After all these cups have been drained out, kind of thing. After all the options have been explored, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's more like the due diligence. And it's more an emotional level, too. How you feel about things. Like my thing now is if I'm confused about making a decision, the decision is no. It should be clear and cut. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't have all that overthinking. Either it feels right or it don't. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty. Well, good people, I'm out of here. I got some shit I want to do today. So I'm gonna get to it, and I'm gonna end it right here, and I will save this cleaning. I'm gonna put it right up after we're done. But enjoy the rest of y'all day and take care of yourselves. And remember that mirror, this time of reflection, wholeness and love.